Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a fun video for you about all of the Modern Warfare 2 leaks. We're going to try to condense all of them into one video because there are just so many coming out right now. I swear whoever works security for Infinity Ward is probably working for the Supreme Court because basically everything is leaking, so much in fact that it could even be deliberate. So the game's coming out on October 28th, 2022. Shouldn't surprise any of you. It is supposedly going to be running on a new engine, and I wanted to clarify this saying it's not the Modern Warfare 1 engine, and it's not the Sledgehammer engine, which is upgraded from the Modern Warfare 1, but apparently yet another new engine. I always take that with a grain of salt. I would suspect that what it is a massively upgraded version of the Modern Warfare 1 engine, which I think is a good thing. I think that engine was one of the workhorses of the game. It made the graphics beautiful. It did a lot of stuff. It was pretty easy for most devs to work with, it seems, and having a better version of that is only going to be better for all of us, with one little caveat. The game is coming out cross-gen as well, cross-generational. It hasn't been clarified whether that means PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, or if that means PlayStation 4, 5, and then Pro, or whatever the Xbox Pro thing is that's coming out. But all generations of consoles are supposed to be supporting this game. I think that's a very bad thing because last-gen ports tend to be pretty rough. Not to knock on you last-gen guys, I actually have a video about you coming out, should be in a day or two, but it's really kind of mean to make such a lower quality version of the same game and just be like, here you go, last-gen peasants, you guys deal with that. And it also hampers the next generation of games because they do have to have some sort of minimum degree of functionality between the two, so I'm not super impressed by that. But let's talk about some specifics of the game itself, and the one that I want to talk the most about is this supposed DMZ mode, or the Tarkov mode that's supposed to be coming to Modern Warfare 2 and run kind of like Warzone, you know, massive scale of battles, long-range combat, customizing your gear and that kind of stuff, except instead of just Battle Royale, this is going to be very Tarky, you know? You'll have to choose what loot you take into battle with you. Choose your ammo, choose your scopes, your guns, and the cool thing is that, like Tarkov, if you die, you lose it. It is gone. I suppose you could kill people and take their loot, you could buy stuff, earn stuff, find new stuff, but if you die, you've genuinely lost something of value. I think this is kind of what Battlefield 4 tried to do with their mode where you captured all the little satellite cores or whatever. And the idea behind it is if you make all of the ammo and all of the guns very scarce, these combats and engagements isn't the guy, you know, popping a stem and jumping around the corner doing a 360 like a gorilla on crack and then hitting you with a throwing knife out there in Rebirth Island or whatever. It's going to be a slow, tactical, you know, ghillie suits, walk through the grass, don't waste your bullets, pop one or two people, need to know when to dip, when the risk reward is right. And that's why people liked Tarkov. So I hope that this mode is like Tarkov. I would like to see it, honestly, a little bit more baby than Tarkov, like a little bit simpler, because Tarkov is a lot to get into. They did say that this mode is going to allow you to earn unique skins, weapon blueprints, operators, and a lot of stuff. That's nothing really new, even in Modern Warfare 1. If you played the not so great survival mode, you could earn unique operators and skins, but supposedly what you earn is going to be tradable on a marketplace, and there hasn't been a lot of clarifications on this. We don't know if we're like, oh wow, I've secured this super rare gun for use in game, I can sell that on the marketplace and take the money and buy other items, or if it means more like a P2P, like an old, like a Steam kind of marketplace where, oh, I've got this really unique blueprint here. Well, I want to sell this for $1,000 to somebody, and you can do that. And this does tie into the unfortunate Call of Duty NFT rumor. Before we talk too much about NFTs, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is again Gamer Advantage Glasses. They are running a sale right now using my code only. It's 20% off. They asked me if I wanted higher commissions or a bigger discount for my fans, and I said the bigger discount. So for this weekend only, all Gamer Advantage glasses, like these that I wear right here, are 20% off if you use my code and link down there in the description. It lasts for like 4-ish days, so it's kind of like Memorial Day sale. I want to say thank you for those of you that have been buying things and supporting me. It goes a long way during these dark times. Now let's come back away from our shameless shilling to talk about more shilling with NFTs. Oh God, help me. So there has been the rumor that Call of Duty is going to support NFTs, and I don't think it's going to be like an open NFT where you can just put your bored apes or whatever on your character. I suspect it would be more like, kind of like what Ubisoft is doing with Quartz, where they want to create their own marketplace so they can control it. And if there are tradable skins and items and things, and if Call of Duty does support NFTs, the DMZ mode seems to be the place that that focus is going. I kind of don't want to see Call of Duty supporting NFTs. I know that's a controversial topic these days, but NFTs are not in a good place. And then I thought to myself, it's really unfair to NFTs to compare them to Call of Duty, but I just generally don't support that. So something that you guys are going to find very interesting is that there is supposedly a skill-based matchmaking refinement coming. I suppose all of the YouTube videos that we've made over the last decade and all of the research that myself and JGod and True Game Data and other people have done to show some aspects of skill-based matchmaking have had an impact, because the rumor is that Activision asked Demonware and some of its other departments to refine this, to make it better, to make it more robust, and more specifically to make it less punishing and more casual. So we hope that is the case. There will almost certainly be skill-based matchmaking and region-based matchmaking. And if you're one of the best players in the world, you shouldn't go play with people that are physically handicapped, but everybody in the middle should be more or less able to game together very, very comfortably. There should be more variation in your lobbies instead of just the same people all the time, though apparently lobby disbandment is supposed to still be a thing. And there's going to be multiplayer bots, both in Modern Warfare 2, and especially they talk about it a lot in terms of Warzone 2 to fill out all the slots needed to get the server going. I personally am never a fan of bots in the game. Bots act differently, they behave differently, they're grossly unsatisfying to kill. You see this in Fortnite. When you kill a bot, it's very, very boring. We're already going to have AI on the map in the form of strongholds that you have to take over to get rare loot and loadouts and stuff. I don't need additional AI that I can't distinguish from regular players and don't know what to do. I couldn't imagine getting third-partied by a bot squad either. That would be very, very frustrating. So not a big fan of the bots that are supposed to be coming in Warzone 2. One other thing about Warzone 2 before we pull on back to Modern Warfare 2 is that another rumor, man, there's so many of these rumors, I swear there's way too many, is that the firing range is returning. And not only is the firing range returning, but it's going to have an output with ranges, damage numbers, multipliers, and a whole ton of stuff that should make testing way easier for the stats guys. That has already gotten easier now that sim.gg has mined all of it. But still kind of a godsend. Not everybody wants to go to a website and research things. You can load it up and learn about it on your own. There is a question of maps in Modern Warfare 2. And the basic answer is that there will be fan favorite maps returning, of course, but most of the launch maps are all going to be new maps, and this kind of follows the Call of Duty cycle. You launch all these new maps and all this new stuff, and then when people are mad about it, DLC 1 is Terminal, DLC 2 is HighRise, DLC 3 Favela, but probably without the stuff in there that got Favela removed from actual Modern Warfare 2 to avoid well, that's a different story for a different video. And of course, these elements are going to be incorporated into Warzone 2, and I think that's great. I'm super excited them talking about HighRise being in Warzone 2. That just seems perfect. When all the influencers got together a couple years ago to play Warzone for the first time, we saw those big buildings downtown, and we thought sure as anything that was HighRise. A little disappointed when it wasn't. It was still very fun, but I'd love to see HighRise proper. And then the final little bit of information we're going to go over today is about perks in the game. Pro perks are coming back. We talked about that in a previous video. And for Warzone 2, pro perks were one of the more fun parts about Modern Warfare 2 for me. You would get a perk, and then you would need to use it a certain amount to level it up and make it more powerful. So I'm all on board the pro perk train. However, they have added Last Stand back as a field upgrade. It's not a perk, so it won't be available all the time, but as one of your field upgrades, kind of like Dead Silence, like Radar Jammer, or any of those little weird things. I'm not a biggest fan of field upgrades. I don't really use them that much, but Last Stand is supposed to be one of them, where you can fall down and draw your pistol and keep shooting people. And even as a field upgrade, even as a consumable, even as a one-off, I absolutely hate it. That was the bane of my existence back in the day. It was no fun. It was always cheesy. I always felt like I got cheated when I died. And even when I went down and died, the satisfaction that I got from it was mostly just cheesing the other party. So I really, really don't want to see that come back. All things considered, it's sounding very good for the game. We're going to have a new DMZ mode. We got a new engine. We'll have a big player base because cross-gen. We got changes coming to skill-based matchmaking, classic maps, pro perks, a firing range with actual real numbers. And if we pray really hard, really hard, maybe it just won't be completely overrun with NFTs. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.